Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for yet another 1/6 scale, in this case Hot Toys figure review. Now I have been super excited to get this guy in front of the camera, and it is the 1/6 scale Boba Fett from Return of the Jedi. This is the deluxe version. Now I was looking high and low for this guy, and I managed to find him for a super good price on Gumtree actually, and I couldn't have been happier. Now this guy's box is pretty stock standard Hot Toys Star Wars fare, except he's actually a little bit thicker in terms of the width of the box here than the other sort of Hot Toys Star Wars pieces. Now just the regular bits and bobs on the back, warnings and whatnot, and that's pretty much it for the box on Boba Fett. I don't know why anyone would be expecting anything different. Just the stock standard Hot Toy Star Wars packaging, but you can see that awesome looking Sarlacc pit, which this figure obviously comes with. It's an awesome addition, and I'll get all the accessories out here and get you guys a closer look. Boba Fett comes with pretty much everything you'd expect him to come with. I mean, these little tools are a bit of a surprise, just because I didn't really know he even had those in his armor at all, but I'll touch on those in a little bit. First, we'll have a look at the sculpt on the hands. So you can see that they're pretty well done. They're a little bit poofy for my liking. You lose a little bit of the detail. They're not as amazing as I'd expect them to be. They're not as weathered as I expect them to be from a company like Hot Toys, but they have done a pretty good job with the overall look of these, and I'm not too not too fussed as I drop it there. So he does come with a few. Obviously, this would maybe be for him resting his hand on top of the gun, which is pretty awesome. He does obviously come with his rifle as well, which is unique to the Return of the Jedi style one. I do have the Sideshow Empire Strikes Back figure. I'll get him out here, and you can see the differences in terms of the costuming and also the rifle. But it's a really awesome piece, a well done, well detailed piece with the wood grain in the back of the stock there, and yeah, just overall awesome job. And I do leave it attached to the hand because this is an absolute pain to get in the hand, so definitely worth leaving it attached. Now I'll give you a look at some of the details on the tools. They're not really anything to write home about. I'll get the camera to focus up if I can, and there we go. Yeah, so just, you know, standard sort of silvery paint on the plastic there, but overall not too bad of a job on these. They do tuck into his legs. Now this piece is part of the deluxe set, and you can see it's the Sarlacc pit, which looks terrific. You can see all those really sharp teeth. Now they aren't, well, I guess you could say they are a little bit sharp, but they are rubbery, so don't worry, you're not going to hurt yourself, as I literally just pricked myself, and that really did hurt actually. But they are more rubbery, so don't stress too much. Now he does have these tentacles as well, which do bend. They're on a wire in there, so you can bend them, and they just screw in. But overall, the detail on this base, even extending to the back, is really terrific. They've nailed that. It looks absolutely stunning. Definitely worth popping Boba Fett on there, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Now he does also come with a standard red display base, like some of the A New Hope figures, like Darth Vader for instance. He came with a red one, and so did the Stormtrooper. So if you want to have him sort of lined up next to those guys, this is an awesome way of doing that. Now I'll get Boba Fett out here, and we'll have a look at all of the details on his costume. The detail that Hot Toys have put into this guy is just absolutely awesome. You can see that the level of weathering, just general paint wear on the figure just looks absolutely stunning, and these pieces really do a good job of actually looking like metal. Now it's not all sunshine and rainbows here with this guy. His Wookiee braids are very light in color, so they don't look weathered at all really. And also everything on this figure just feels really light. Really lightweight. I'm not sure exactly how that came about, but even the jetpack is a really light piece. And I was really taken aback when I pulled this guy out of the package, and I was thinking, wow, this is not Hot Toys' usual level of quality with the, you know, nice heft and weight to the figure, but he's a well painted and well, he looks really awesome on the shelf, but in terms of just general weight and quality, I don't think this guy really stands up. But either way, he's Boba Fett, and he's my favorite character, so he's definitely not going anywhere. He's an awesome piece, but I am considering getting that 1/4 scale Hot Toys Boba Fett, so keep an eye on the channel for that. That might make a sneaky appearance if I do decide to eventually pick that guy up. But what we'll do now is I'll get the Sideshow figure out here, and we'll have a look at the differences between this guy and that old Sideshow one. Now I was saying before that the Hot Toys figure is a lightweight piece. Now I Didn't realize how lightweight this guy was until I picked him back up out of the cabinet, and then his legs literally just went flop down. So someone chuckled before when I said Django was getting loose in his old age. This guy's definitely getting loose in his old age. So like father, like son, I suppose. But this guy, you can see the difference between these two. Comes down to really the color and paint wear on this guy. The armor also suffered from that sort of misaligned and really flat chested sort of look with that guy. This guy's pretty much perfect. I don't see any misalignment. It's really well contoured, and just the overall look of the costuming on this guy is really well represented here. Whereas this guy, it's sort of a little bit more bulky and less form-fitting. And the gauntlets on this guy as well are green compared to this guy with the red. And I'll spin them around in a second and we'll show you the difference between the backpack, the jetpacks, I almost said backpack there, because you can see on this guy the level of paint wear, and the color is more representative of how he looked like at the end of Attack of the Clones, as in Django's jetpack. So this guy, I reckon, if you're tossing up between these two, I'd say go for this guy. But if you do want to have that Empire Strikes Back guy in your shelf, maybe pick this guy up cheap, or of course wait for the Hot Toys one when that does come out. That should be, I think, towards the end of the year, so keep an eye out on my channel for that one as well, because I'll be getting that, and this guy will probably be sold off, I reckon. But anyway, I will flip them around and give you a look at the jetpacks. The level of painted difference between these two is really shocking, actually. I didn't realize how poorly painted the Sideshow one was. I mean, it is that green, so it does represent Empire Strikes Back really well, but compared to this, I mean, look at the level of detail on that. That looks like a real metal, worn, lived-in piece, as did all the props in the Star Wars movies. So I reckon Hot Toys just has nailed this jetpack. It looks absolutely awesome. And you can see the difference in color, and also the difference in scale. This is much bigger than this. I don't know if that's film accurate or what, but this is a much smaller, much sleeker sort of looking package. And I reckon Hot Toys have done an excellent job representing the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett's jetpack. Displayed atop this Sarlacc pit, this Boba Fett really looks absolutely awesome, and this is the pose that I've had him in my shelf for the longest time. Now, he looks absolutely terrific perched up there. You can obviously see the black flight stand or flight rod pretty obviously, but he just looks awesome. And you can see those flame effects just plug into the jetpack there, and the wired cape really helps to give that illusion of him actually just taking off from the Sarlacc pit and making a great escape from his untimely demise in Return of the Jedi. Now, it's a really awesome display option, but I think I've had him displayed like this for a while, so I think I'm going to pop him on the regular stand now, just break it up a little bit, just so his pose doesn't get too stale. I like to do that from time to time, just mix up the pose a little bit, just so figures don't get too stale in the same sort of static pose. But this is a really awesome display option. Overall, this Boba Fett is just an outstanding effort on Hot Toys' part. Now, as I said before, he is a little bit light in terms of just the weight of the figure, but I reckon he more than makes up for it in detail, and also just in the quality of the materials that Hot Toys have used. It's just second to none. And comparing it to that old Sideshow one, I mean, there's really nothing to complain about compared to that old guy. So definitely pick this guy up if you can find it, and I hope I've made the decision just a little bit easier, because I know it's always tricky to decide whether or not to pick up these Hot Toys pieces, but he just looks absolutely awesome. And he comes with that Sarlacc pit if you get the deluxe version as well, so I mean, what more could you ask for? Now, as always, guys, check my social links down below. I've been posting photos on there of stuff that's upcoming, and also figures that I've been reviewing as well. I like to post some photos that are like movie still sort of photos, and they look really, well, I think they look good, but you guys let me know. And as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks so much for watching.